What's good, everybody? This episode of the podcast is sponsored by DistroKid. They are the go-to for digital music distribution and the easiest way for musicians to get your music onto Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, TikTok, YouTube, and more. They offer unlimited uploads, and artists keep 100% of their earnings in stores 10 to 20 times faster than any other distributor. Fastest payouts. They help out with automatic splits, cover song clearance, and all kinds of other amazing tools and templates to help you get the most visibility for your releases. I dig this company and appreciate their business model that offers more features than any other distributor at the most affordable price possible for solo musicians, bands, DJs, studio artists, and any other creators that are producing music in their home, and they also offer label services as well. They've got 3 different tiers to offer creators that start as low as $22.99 a year. That's just $1.92 a month, and even their top tier is just $7.50 per month. And the best part about DistroKid sponsoring the podcast is that they are offering Dan Cable Presents listeners and viewers 30% off your first year of membership with DistroKid, making their already affordable prices even cheaper for you. Check out the link in the episode notes. I will also put it in my Instagram bio in the link tree. That link will give you 30% off that first year of service. Super stoked to have DistroKid sponsoring the podcast and cannot thank them enough for their long time support of this thing. This episode of the podcast is also sponsored by Puff Coffee. Puff is one of my favorite coffee shops in Portland, Oregon. They've got a location off 28th and Stark in Southeast. Their coffee is delicious, and everyone that works there is always super friendly. I had the pleasure of staying in their neighborhood for a month or so, and it was just a real treat to have this as my neighborhood coffee shop for a bit. And now I find myself going out of my way to get over there and get some coffee. Puff Coffee was started by the founder of Stumptown Coffee, and they are making small batch coffee roasted daily here in Portland. Their mission to find, roast, and deliver the most delicious coffees anywhere. Their small batch process means that they get to keep things interesting with experimental blends and single origin gems while always keeping the classics on deck. They've got a variety of beans to choose from, and if you're not in the Portland area, you can order their small batch coffee straight to your home through their website, and you can use the coupon code DANCABLE, all one word, for 20% off a coffee subscription. Links for Puff Coffee will be in the episode notes. Big thanks to Puff for supporting the show and for their amazing small batch coffee. Now let's get into the episode.
Looking down at the corner of
What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dan Cable Presents podcast. Thank you for tuning into the program once again. If this is your first time listening, thanks for checking out the show. You can find fresh episodes coming at you every Tuesday. And if you want to help support this thing in a free way, you can do so by clicking subscribe on iTunes, clicking write a review, giving the podcast 5 stars if you feel like it is deserving of so. And that will help propel this thing into the tops of those iTunes charts, giving it more visibility on the national and international levels, helping strangers find the podcast, and just a great way to contribute to the growth and sustainability of this thing. I appreciate the hell out of all the folks that have already taken the time to do so. If you're not listening on Apple, just hit like, follow, subscribe wherever you are listening from. If you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe there. Tell a friend about the podcast. Give it 5 stars on Spotify. Check out the monthly playlists that I've been dropping every first of the month. Those are pretty spread out genre-wise, 40 tracks every month. Just a snapshot of what I'm listening to throughout the month and some tracks that are making it into my DJ sets as well. Hope everybody is doing well out there. Stoked to get into episode 418 of the podcast with Portland, Oregon-based rapper Bryson The Alien. This is a dude that has been on the podcast a lot over the years, and I always enjoy catching up with him on the mics and just getting to see him and see where things are at. It just seems like every time that we catch up, he's always released a bunch of music within the span of that time, consistently creating and exploring the boundaries of making music. And one of the cool things about having conversations with someone over many years, and in some cases nearly a decade, with Bryson, especially recording these conversations, is that you really get to, get a gauge on the pacing of conversations with particular people. And Bryson is someone that has been on the podcast maybe more times at this point than anyone else. I think Meltzer, from here in Portland, producer, great beat maker, is a close second, if maybe not the same amount in the various projects he's come on with. But Bryson came on episode 18 back when I was recording things over at Mountain Air Studios in the Brooklyn neighborhood of Portland. And it was back when I was doing a lot of studio sessions, kind of KEXP style. And there would be this live performance element that would work its way into the conversations as well. And Bryson was on 18, and when 118 came around and I was still doing it, he was like, "Hey man, I saw 100 is coming up. Love to be 118." And we've kind of just continued this tradition of Bryson being on this podcast in some form, whether it's like with the Some Aliens crew or just him solo. Over the last 8 years, he's been 118, 218, 318, and we have successfully done it again this time around with 418. And this is maybe the most focused, concise recorded chat that I've ever had with Bryson. So I'm really excited about this one. And it's also probably, by far the most buttered that I have done one of these podcasts since dipping into the studio space. We burned one down, and then I just got on the Bryson the Alien spaceship, and I just let it take me where it was going to go, and just really love this chat. Stoked I got to spend some time with this dude on the mics this week, on the week of his wedding. Big congrats to him and Jenny on the next chapter of their relationship and the family they're building with their daughter Gemma. And if you're new to Bryson, lots of music to go back and check out. Hopefully this is a good entry point into getting some understanding of who he is and where he comes from, and just the inspiration for making music. And all the links for Bryson will be in the episode notes. And to kick off the episode, we are going to play a track that was recorded during that initial podcast session back on episode 18. And this is Bryson performing this track with the Some Aliens crew, the people that made that up at that point in time. And one of my favorite performances during that time that I was doing these types of recordings was a performance of a track called New York. So you can see these up on the DNA Cable Presents YouTube channel, along with all of the conversations as of late. If you haven't checked out what the studio setup is yet, ever since episode 400, I've had this studio space and been recording all of them here for the most part, unless I've been on the road. So check that out, as well as this archive of performances that happened over at Mountain Air Studios. Thanks for tapping in, and hope you enjoy this one. Episode 418, Bryson the Alien back on the podcast. I think this is the only time, maybe the second time, he and I have ever done a one-on-one. So excited to share this one. And this is a track called New York. Now let's do the damn thing.
New York.
Ride with us
New York.
as I ride drive to the private art gallery exhibition. The edible at 8 begin to kick it. Staring at the paintings with the trippy vision. Wine tasting like the red and the white delicious. Tough decisions. Politicking with other artists, musicians, and politicians. Then I seen her and my state of mind shifted. Like, damn, she fine. Wonder who she came with. She was solo, looking at a 16th century French photo of a girl playing the oboe. I calmly approached, like, yo, those Margielas you wearing? Yo, she said, thanks, have we met before? I said, no, but you sound like you from
New York,
She said, Staten Island, born and raised. Wu-Tang got me through most of my
New
days.
York.
It's a beautiful place, you should visit. I said I would, love a tour guide, you with it? She smiled, so I proceeded to get the digits. I said I'm flying out to Maui to handle some business. Record this new project, my flight leaves tomorrow morning. So it's best I probably get going. She wished me well on my travels and beyond. She said she's going to Fashion Week in Milan with her mom next week. But when I get back last week and you said you make music, send me the link. I said for sure, disappeared through the corridor. Like my feet didn't touch the floor. David Blaine, Doc Martens in the gold chain. I'm coming for the whole thing. Word to
New York.
What's good, Portland? Bryson the Alien reporting live. 400 episodes later.
100 episodes later, insane.
400.
You don't have to wear them, but if you would like to know where you're at on the mic and whatnot,
It can help.
there are headphones right there for you.
It can help.
Yeah, and then we can.
My vocal performance varies depending on pandemic or not. I whispered more in the 2020 records. Now he's screaming because the world's going crazy. So now I'm just screaming at the top of my lungs on every record. It's a program.
You want to swing that arm closer to you? Just like
Yeah.
bring that
Hey.
in so you can be comfy and.
Hey.
All right, cool.
I low-key need to hit a joint. That'd be super cozy.
I have I have some digital and some internet weed.
Ooh.
Is that? We can't smoke in here. We can go outside.
Ooh.
We can take a little,
I mean, I love you enough to do that.
we can go burn one down first.
All right. Hey, we're going to burn one down, and we'll be right back after these messages. It's a program. It's Dan Cable 418. Let's get it. Loading. 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 Loading.
Check. How's the head? Oh, you don't have them on. I was gonna say, how's the headphone volume,
Game
Bryson?
over.
But
Continue.
you're not there yet. He's not strapped in.
Continue.
You are quite the cord there.
I had to put a new coin in, bro, before I press start, bro. I had to put a new coin in the game,
Got to get comfy.
right?
It's important today that you're comfortable here.
Man, I really appreciate hearing that right now, man, because I feel like life want me uncomfortable, bro, but I'm too comfortable. That's probably my problem, bro. I'm too comfortable.
He's too comfortable.
I'm too comfortable. I need to be uncomfortable. So I think that's what it's all about. Is like life's a game, and I'm playing on the hardest difficulty. So you know what I mean. That's the whole thing. The whole thing is trying to rattle my cage. You know what I mean? So
Rattle your cage and bring that mic closer to you.
see exactly.
And then perfect. This is perfect.
All right. I
This is
believe
going to
you
provide a very nice listening experience for the folks tuning in to episode 418.
too, bro. 400 years
400 years have passed.
of experience,
Man,
but 400 episodes.
pretty exciting to continue this tradition with you, of having you on episode 18. And you were the one that kind of initiated, like, hey, I see you're coming up on the 100th episode. I got to be, 118.
I gotta be.
And then we have just
We gotta be.
continued on this journey. And yeah, a lot has happened, man. So
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing to have you back and like have you here in this space, and for you to kind of experience the different spaces. The last like couple of these last 3 of them we've just like done in your backyard, which has been nice. I love a backyard hang. The show was like a little bit more mobile, and the first time you came on, we were still doing a lot of we were doing the in-studio performances with Mountain Air Mike over there at Mountain Air Studios, and we
Let's
got those
go.
like early videos of you performing.
Yo, before my dreads fully locked in, you know what I mean? I was still figuring it out.
Had no idea what to expect. I just like randomly got put onto your music and had never met you before that day. And
Right.
you just like rolled in with a great crew.
Hell
And
yeah,
we had
man.
a good time, and you put on one of my favorite like studio performances there, and
Yeah, we gotta put those on vinyl or something.
that'd be cool, man. I would love that.
You have my permission and consent.
You
to
hear
do
that,
something like
everyone? You hear that, RCA Records or whoever is fucking with this guy?
Yeah, dude, just give me 10. Just at least give me like 10%. Maybe 25 if y'all really love me, man. But I like for real. Like mixing, mastering,
That'd be
writing,
great.
and producing is like 4 different slots, and I feel like they all worth 25%.
Yeah.
So if there's multiple producers split to 25%, 100%, that's the whole pie. You know what I mean? So writing, producing, mixing, mastering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you contributed to one of those 4 slots, you get a percentage, and that's worth negotiating. You know what I mean? So
You heard it here. We're putting it on vinyl.
here we go. I had to reset
Just like
the
a
game
40,
real
a
quick.
45.
Yeah.
Why do you want the difficulty to be on hard though? You know, like, are you choosing this difficulty to be on hard? Do you feel like when you say, you know, that you're going at it on, you know, in the video game mode on hard?
It's like, put it like this, man. If you were watching your homie play the game
Yeah.
and he was playing no easy, but he was killing shit, cool.
Okay.
But if he was playing on the hardest difficulty and like he might have lost the first couple levels, but he kept going though, and he didn't stop, and the wins might have gotten in greater gaps, but every win was like exponential because he kept
man.
going. But that's what the game is. It's like if you start at level 1 and it take you hella years to get to level 7, you still made it to level 7, and whoever was around you to see you do that was stoked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about, man. Just about keep going and just keeping love in your circle. You know what I mean? And then removing that if it's no longer there.
Where do you feel like you have gained that perspective or learned that that approach from?
I feel like it's just about seeing things change around you, because I've known you for 8 years, and
Yeah, more probably.
yeah,
I
more
guess.
more
Like,
than that. But like,
yeah, I get. But
you know, like it's going on 10 years, and obviously I've grown in some ways, but I'm essentially the same person that you've
Yeah.
seen then. Like
Yeah.
you can see it. Like I can take my glasses off and you can like see my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm the same dude. I'm not bugged out. It's not like something weird going on. It's like the same dude trying to figure it out and trying to do it on my terms, essentially.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So that's what it's all about.
but the growth is very apparent. Like
That's tight.
you can see that. You know,
That's
like
cool.
like yes, I recognize the you from almost 10 years ago, but also and there's a lot of familiarity there, but you know, there's the growth. There has to be, like, your life has changed so much since I first met you, dude. Like you have a
It's
2-year-old now.
Yeah, I do.
You know, that alone has to be
Papa Bear.
a pretty significant shift in the mindset or affect, you know, the way that you're creating, I would imagine.
Yeah, it definitely changed everything for sure. Luckily, I was already kind of in a mindset to think about the future and legacy and such, but that just having a kid and being a father, it just made it 100% like I got to continue on for her at the very least, and I just want her to just ball out, man, and just have a wonderful childhood, a wonderful life, and not have to worry about struggling or figuring things out. Like I just want her to be straight, and is totally obtainable. You know what I mean? Like it's totally obtainable. I just gotta focus. So that's what I just been on. It's just making sure she good, making sure my family good, my pets got kibble. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. What has it been like balancing fatherhood with
while consistently creating? Because
Man.
you've put out a lot of music since you've become a dad. So it's not like the output has slowed down too much, if at all.
Yeah, two things. One, I was working my ass off when I knew Jenny was pregnant.
Yeah, you're
So,
just
like, when she
making a
was
bunch of music.
when she was pregnant, I knew I definitely locked in and made some stuff. Those things being Casual Abductions with UAP and the Punchline record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Great Adventures of. Both came out in 2022, but was working on it, you know what I mean, 2020. And
Yeah.
it really locked in 2021. And it came out to next year. So is one, I cooked up before, but then two, shit, man, when she napping or she sleep, man, I'm getting to work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like, that's the other part, is just being or trying to be efficient with the time, but then also understanding my life is more than music, and I gotta be there for, you know, my family and,
Yeah.
and the other things that need my attention. You know, love music, happy people enjoy it. I love to do it, but also understanding that there's a lot of other aspects of my life. But I love it so much, I just don't want to leave y'all hanging, especially when people just beating down my door for new shit. So it's like, I make sure to supply y'all. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like my therapy too.
Yeah.
So that part. So I feel like it's three parts. Cooked up before, I cook up when she napping, and then I love it, so I keep going. So it's just like a trifecta.
Yeah. Do you feel like you treat that free time even more precious, like when you do have the time to create, because there's less of it to go around?
Hell yeah. It feels so good, dude. It feels like it always felt good to make records, but it feels even better knowing that I'm able to still do it with so much going on. You know what I mean? Like, if she napping or she, you know, I got a babysitter or whatever, like, just the fact that I'm still in there doing what I love.
Yeah.
And having the space and opportunity to do it is a blessing. Because, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Too Heavy came out like 2015, right before Hail Mary, that came out in 2016.
Yeah.
So I really feel like it's been about going on like 10 years of this. So to still be here 10 years later is a blessing. You know what I mean? And for things to essentially be on the incline, because, you know, it's a big world out there.
Yeah. What do you feel like that engine is inside of you that just like wills you to continue to want to create? Like, is it the therapeutic nature of it, or like what is giving you the ability, do you feel like, to like not let that light dim within you? Because like I feel like that's the hard part. As you get older and older, there's like so much pushing against you to dim that light within you, you know? And I feel like you really got to like push back at it sometimes, or at least like I do at times, where it's like I feel like the creating sometimes is like such a, like, can be a burden until I'm actually in it. You know, I've kind of like compared it to going to the gym lately, where it's like when I think about going to the gym, I'm kind of like, fuck. But like once I'm 5-10 minutes into it, then I'm like, I'm so pumped that I'm there. You know, like I'm so pumped that I get to hang out with you today and catch up with you on the mics. Like, this is what I'm for my work right now. Like, this is what I'm doing. So like, or this is at least a component of it that I try to cherish so much, because it seems like, what a cool day that I got to play radio with you today, you know, that I got to have you in my space, and like we get to do this.
Absolutely, man. It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to be here, and it's a blessing to be in this new studio, man. It's beautiful. I really enjoyed seeing the content, you know what I mean, and all the other artists and bands that you brought in here, you know, even people that I've known and played shows with, and just seeing them get their opportunity to give their testimony, give their history, their truth, and is tight, man. Like, I wish people could see everything that I'm looking at, you know what I mean? Like, they can't see all of this, you know what I mean? But I can, and I just want to say, like, congrats, bro.
Thanks,
Like,
man.
you know, and I feel like you're at the point where I'm at now too, where it's like people say that to you, but it's like, bro, I'm still figuring it out. It's still so much stuff
Yeah.
that I need to fix, redo, or whatever. It's
Be
like, it's
better
still,
at.
yeah, be better at, like, quickly too.
Yeah.
Not like I have like years to do it. Like, I gotta like lock in.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know what it means to be here. You know, just being on episode 18 and seeing where you was at then. Bro, you had that big beard back there. Let's play. I was there,
Yeah,
man. You know
There's
what I mean? So
there's still some people I run into sometimes, and they're like, "Didn't you used to have like a really big beard?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, that was a whole era of the thing." It's interesting it's funny the things that you can attach yourself to, like as a person, as far as like just like dumb kind of like ego stuff, like, or just you know, appearance things, you know, like that was like I because my logo was my face and still is in different form now, and like having that big beard, I thought so much of like, can I shave this beard? And it's just like, yeah, of course you can, dude. Like, who the fuck cares? It's so funny, like, to when you kind of like brand something with your face, that it's like, oh well, now I'm this dude with a beard. And now when I see pictures and like videos of myself with a big beard, I'm just like, what a fucking idiot. It's so funny though.
no, you've definitely successfully rebrand. So congrats on that.
Yeah, not intentionally, but you know, just
Bro.
you gotta. I feel like I have to switch things up from time to time, and yeah, I'm glad that I did.
I put it like this: one day Ludacris chopped off his braids, and then one day he did it again.
Luda.
So
Oh,
you
man.
might grow it back. It might
who
not
knows?
be right. It might not be right now.
Who knows? You know, maybe 80-year-old
Yeah, you
me has
never-
has a big beard if I make it that far along. You know,
man. I'm praying you do.
but going back to the question before I meandered us into like wherever we're at now.
No, you good. I'm focused.
Where do you feel like your engine comes from, or your will to create consistently and just like continue on this journey? Like, why is it important to you, I guess?
A part of it is because I love it. You know what I mean? And a part of it is because I've made so many sacrifices to do it and to continue to do it
Yeah.
at the level I'm doing it. And then a part of it is that I love seeing the people that support it and love it and support it, and like grow with them and provide, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
New stuff, new sounds, new ideas, new production. Just like, it warms my heart to see people and discuss it and talk about it, or even just hand them a cassette like I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna just hand you what I got
Oh,
here.
he brought some cassettes.
Norman and Kuma.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? The OG test pressings.
Thank you,
You know
dude.
what I mean? You should hold on to those.
Cassettes are fun. Like, I don't listen to cassettes because I don't have a cassette player
Oh,
at the
you gonna
very,
get
at
one,
the very
though.
moment.
You gonna get
But
one.
I do have one locked away in a garage right now that I plan to pull out. But I just like the physical token of like
Yeah,
what a
dude.
cassette like kind of looks like at this point. So I fuck with them for that reason.
Fuck
pretty
yeah, dude.
much.
Yeah, so
know?
so to answer your question is like, I do it because I love it. I do it because I've sacrificed so much to continue to do it and all that, and then also because like I love making the supporters and the fans and family just like stoked and happy to see my progress. And like a lot of people in my life have told me like, I'm going because you going, like I'm going hard because you going hard, like you one of the main reasons why like I'm still continuing on because you are. So it's like stuff like that, it just makes you like, yep, regardless of what I'm going through, is like I know how much it's doing for people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's not even like a numbers game. It's just like my circle, my surroundings,
Yeah.
like really, like I'm a pillar, I'm a rock in my, you know what I mean, universe. So like I just want to be here and do that as long as I can. And when I'm not here, I got hella shit to enjoy. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, man. I mean, that's like a big inspiration to me, I guess, is the people that I started doing this podcast, 8+ years ago.
yeah,
And to see like a person like yourself still going and still putting
Yo.
out music and still kind of pushing the boundaries. I feel like you're doing exactly, as far as like you bringing up that, you're still the same dude in some ways, although
Definitely.
you've evolved. I think one of those things is that like when I've always known you to be this person that is kind of like pushed on maybe these experimental boundaries at times, or like the type of music that you are rapping over, and just like showing off your love for so many different genres of music. Like you're still doing that, but I think you also like at times have shown that you can be restrained or like show restraint in some ways, and like
Yeah.
maybe dig into something that's like got a little bit more of just like this pop sensibility to it, or is not so far like out of bounds, like you've shown that you can do both, and like you
Dope.
continue, like I think you continue
Thank
to
you.
do so. Like that Adventures of record is one of my favorite things that you've put out.
Punk Slime.
Like,
Hey, thank you.
That
Thank
shit's
you
killer,
so
dude.
much,
Like, cause
man.
that, like,
Thank you so much.
I know, like, from talking to you the first time we did a podcast, is that you've always voiced your appreciation for a lot of different styles of music, and like although that like you're a rapper, like you're listening to a lot of different stuff, and that like whole record is kind of just like, to me, this like homage to like rock and roll, and like what you like about rock and roll, and how that can inspire you.
Dope, man. Hey, thank you so much. I felt like that was a lot to unpack, but I'm glad you did it. That was clearly on your heart, and that means a lot to me, first and foremost. But as far as the restraint part, like the Punk Slime record and just all those things, part of it, 80-90% of it was I was working with a particular producer,
Okay.
or group. Like for UAP, it was Pioneer 11,
Yeah.
Alex and Brian.
Absolutely.
For Great Adventures of, it was with Luke Riley. So
Okay.
Luke was feeding me the beats and the song concepts, and I was just, going at it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the cases is because it was like a certain kind of surrounding of people, primarily like I said, the producer or the person I was feeding the songs.
Yeah.
So that was a big part of why that was. And then also, like you said, I just had a lot of influences, and I just want to execute them in a respectable way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
No, I think you did, for sure. Like, yeah, there's so many killer songs on that record,
thank you so much, man.
Yeah, is that also just like maybe something that really shows you that different producers are going to bring different things out of you, and is that like
Absolutely.
pretty exciting for you?
Always. That's part of it. That's part of the game too. It's just like stumbling upon a new, like I said, act or producer or band or someone that reaches out to you to work, and it just works out.
Yeah.
And I started cranking out records. It's like, yeah, definitely different producers inspire. It inspires the lyrics. It inspires like the direction of the music. You know what I mean? Like, is tight. So it's always cool to work with new people, and just stumble upon like a new, but yet familiar, yet nostalgic kind of like groove.
Yeah.
It's a blessing.
You can kind of take that approach that you learn from project to project, or working with producer to producer, and like just continue to accumulate kind of all that knowledge to the next record.
Yep, definitely. You definitely taking what you learned from the previous situation to the next, and it's like a game. Every level, every side quest, you come back with some jewels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's like side quests and all that. You know what I mean? So
the side quest is important.
Yeah, side quests is important. If you didn't learn nothing from this interview, bro, just do more side quests.
Do more side quests.
You know what
Do
I
them
mean?
with different people. You know.
Yeah, man, just
Do
figure
them
it
solo.
out. Yeah, man, that's all it is. It's just be you. You know what I mean? Do your solo thing, but also just make sure you take time to work with others and get to know them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You learn. You always learn something. So you can't never lose if you learn from the situation.
Yeah, so like with that Adventures record, is that a thing where you're just getting the beats, getting the music, and you're just throwing down a vocal, and that's kind of the end of it? Or like is that stuff a little more refined where there's like maybe a little bit more communication back and forth of like,
Ooh, yeah.
oh, Bryson, try this time, or like don't do too many bars here, or like things along those lines? Or
Yeah, in this particular case with that record, started working on it when the pandemic happened, because I had put out Janithia, you know,
Yeah.
the album named after my mom in December 12th, 2019.
yeah,
And I kind of used that as like my like industry demo. So I like sent that out to a whole bunch of people. And you know what I mean? It was on Bandcamp front page or whatever. But it was also got in the hands of Jeff Weiss from Power Recordings. So that's partly how the UAP thing happened. Because I
Yeah.
kind of built a rapport with him and then eventually Brian and Alex. But then it also landed in the hands of Luke Riley and Johan over there at Punk Slime, Stockholm, Sweden. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So in that case, I just started talking to Luke a lot and emailing him stuff, and we just kind of talked a lot on that aspect, few Zoom calls or whatever you call it nowadays, and we just really got to know each other, send each other records. We were like, you know, just geeking out over stuff,
Yeah.
and then eventually, you know, he had the idea to do a compilation called International Breakdown, which came out a little bit before my record, but on that compilation I had like 3 songs on there. Revenge of the Scarecrow, Super Fun.
That's one of my favorites on that
Yeah,
record.
Super
dude.
Fun Apocalypse, and it was one more, 3 songs, and then those 3 songs turned into like the album eventually, because we went back and reworked those, and it just became what it was. But yeah, it was a lot of emailing back and forth, and a lot of me just trying different things, doing different takes.
Yeah.
You know, even on songs like I'm Out, you know what I mean? Originally he was singing the chorus, and it's funny because he's like a, you know, kind of like an English sounding accent dude. So it just really sounded like some like, it sounded different at first, you know, It had a different vibe, but then I got Signy to sing it. And she was just like a high schooler at the time. She was like 17, but she just had like this beautiful kind of like Avril Lavigne thing kind of going on, and it just kind of worked out. You know what I mean? So that one was a lot of back and forth and communicating, especially because I didn't have the chance to go over there to work on it like I wanted to. You know what I mean? Things just kept happening. You know what I mean? I kept getting more busy here. But shout out Gmail. You know what I mean? Shout out Gmail. It happened because of Gmail.
Yeah, is there it's like Dark Roads track?
Ooh, yeah.
That's that one, dude. That's
thank you,
that
sir.
one sounds like you're just on this like Dandy Warhol's like garbage kind of track. Like I love the music on that one, and just to like hear what you did with a track like that, I thought was really cool.
Thank you, man. That was another case of him sending me that, and then having Julia from the band Vero, I believe, who's also signed to Punk Slime.
Yeah.
She sung the hook, and I think originally he had sung it too, and then like I said, it was just a dude singing it, just kind of different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, I love that record. I love that album. It's definitely one of my most popular, best-selling tapes. You know, it's been on that Shameless TV show. It's been on that Walker show that was on CW. It's been in like that whiskey commercial. Was it Johnny Walker or whatever? It's been, you know what I mean? So it's been like in a few places, like, you know, which has been really tight. I love licensing.
it makes me want to see you with a band.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you say that, man. It's been a lot of people saying that.
Yeah, it would
to say the least.
Even
like
if it's just like a one-off, it would be cool to like see some of that music performed and maybe like adapting maybe a couple of your other tracks to see.
that would be dope, and it's getting to the point that would be needed in certain cases to execute those records, which I'm totally open to doing. It's just all about putting people together and, and having the means to pay them or whatever, however it be.
Laugh like you got the joke late. Before the final scene, let me first get the premise straight. I'm trapped on Earth because my spaceship in another state. I mean country, human terms so hard to regurgitate. On my way to Spain, Miles Davis in my headphones. Coordinates to where someone knows how to get home. My home, where there's no Siri, no iPhone. But we keep gadgets on the touch to leave your mind blown. Sky zone, in the air praying for a miracle. These tests seem spiritual, I'm vivid with the lyrical. The sky was marmalade, and the birds appear cheerful. Clouds taking form, I see the people getting fearful. We'll stop the I'm automatic. Call out the radio static. Hold tight.
What's it been like to get to see some of your tracks like played in some of these shows?
Oh man, it's
like,
crazy.
Have these moments where you're,
It's crazy.
Seeing your music set to, a different piece of art that you didn't intend it to go with.
Man, it's crazy. It's wild. Part of it on my end is crazy because, like, sometimes you get like a rumbling about it, or then sometimes you just wake up and get a message like, yo, they picked this up, it'll be out tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, so part of it is like surprise, like you're surprised it even happened because it just happened out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But then, you like look it up and then you see how they cut it up and pieced it up. And it's like, that's tight, It's like, I feel like I'm mainstream or something. Like, it's just cool. It's just a blessing. And then, whatever royalties, whatever you get back from it is tight too. But just in general, just that someone heard your song and thought it was dope enough to put it on something they were working on just means so much, and it's such a blessing. And, that's the beauty of music and making songs too. It's like, you know what I mean? That it becomes like a cultural sort of thing, which is dope.
Yeah, especially things that are like so mainstream like that, where you're bound to have a few people that didn't know about you before find out about you, and whether that brings you like 5 new listeners or 5,000, I think that's like pretty
dope,
significant, cool. Like too, that like maybe somebody's sitting at home watching that show.
Yeah.
Because like I know when I'm watching TV or movies, like I'm the person like usually once a day doing the, hey Siri, what song is this? So people are doing that.
Bro, I've Shazam, been getting a lot of Shazam, so it's cool. You get to see it every week, like what happened pretty much.
My phone went off when I said, hey Siri,
Let's go.
What song is this?
Yo,
oh man.
It don't stop.
But yeah, you're getting hit from that. You're definitely getting you're seeing those Shazams increase.
Yeah, you see it when particular things happen, and it's like I said, just first and foremost, it's just a blessing that the music is able to reach people in places I haven't been yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My perfect world, I would do a world tour. I would be able to just hit different places that already know my music and know of it. Like so the fact that the music's able to do that is cool. You know what I mean? I'm only one person. So
absolutely. When you see your music set to like film, or like the way it's maybe chopped up in a way that you didn't intend it for it to be, like, do you feel like that's infectious, or like it changes your mindset at all when you see these things about like maybe how more of your music can maybe fit in to that world, or even like having an effect on the music that you're making? Like I know that you're like diving more and more into producing beats and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. It's hooks, bridges. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you gotta have some song structure definitely, and it's definitely going forward. Just trying to make things more animated. And then the other part, like you said, is just having the mindset that in the future, certain records might get picked up. So like have certain characteristics about it that might be cool for like cartoons and certain things like that.
Yeah.
So like little touches, certain brightness with chords and certain things like that.
Yeah. Must be nice to know that it's even just like a possibility now.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
or that it's already happened, but also trying to be humble or not like hang your hat on more of it happening too. Like that must be like a interesting thing to kind of balance out.
It is, but it's like, just having a kid, having a family, having a lot of things going on. It's like you want, quote unquote, more success or quote unquote quicker checks, or you want more of things, but it's also just important to just understand that you always going to want more in a way, because that's life, but it's really, really vital to just be thankful for where you're at now and how far you've gotten.
Yeah.
And to understand that as long as you stay a solid person and continue, things will get better, and you will be able to see that in your surroundings. And nothing happens as fast as anyone wants it to, man, but the universe just has an interesting timing with things, and it's just really important to accept that. And easier said than done.
Yeah.
But it's part of the game. It's just having faith. So you just gotta have faith, and you just gotta also remind yourself how far you've came.
Check it out.
Reporting live from Stockholm, Sweden. Bryson the Alien, about to get even. How they say they love you, but the envy seeping. Venom creeping, third eye see this, need the sequence. Learn early on, better prep for the long haul. Cause they gon' sleep on you till they back wrong. So I break backs, spitting raw rhymes. In these war times, equivalent to war crimes. It's time. So I'm here, knight in shining armor, RL apparel, laser gun, tucked like no tomorrow, bringing sorrow to you and yours. If you ops just opened up shop, come and look what I got. Let's shop, partner. Rolling Stone, keep some magazines with me. If you got an issue, I'm the publisher, come see me. Schedule an appointment, then come see me. Access to me not easy, life greasy, please believe me. Tell MF Doom, I'm the next one. Anakin or Obi-Wan.
What do you feel like is like most exciting to you about making music right now, or just the creative process at this point? Like, what are you stoked about? What do you?
A part of it is, like we touched on earlier, is like getting to work with new people.
Yeah.
And or getting to work with people maybe you worked with before, but doing it at a higher level and doing it more, you know what I mean? Like, not thoroughly, but I guess like getting your second, third turn with a particular artist or producer.
Yeah.
And then like, I can really give y'all even something crazier, because now like we've been, tapping in for a few years. So now it's like, I'm ready to give y'all the movie type shit. So that's a part of it. It's just working with new people, but then also just getting stoked with doing it at a higher level. Like that's exciting to me. It's like I'm very excited for what I have to share for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like I've worked really hard, and like even touched on earlier, it's even more rewarding just being busier than ever, but still being able to carve out little niches in time to make these tunes and create these moments. Like it's just a blessing to still be able to do it.
Yeah, dude, it's special. Like when you get to, like you're talking about too, just kind of honing these creative relationships and getting to explore the chemistry between you and someone else, that where there's been something that has felt good in the past, but like just continuing to kind of get to like refine that. Mm-hmm. And you get to go into those second and third experiences kind of already knowing how they operate, and vice versa. So you can give them even something better and you know how to like communicate with one another already.
Right.
I mean, shit, just like even thinking about, you know, I mean, not to necessarily like compare the conversations, but like I hope that I have built enough chemistry and understanding of like what you are like in conversation to make episode 418 maybe like the best recorded chat that we've ever had or
Oh
something.
man,
You know,
that already happened.
like
We
just
already made history, bro. That shit already happened.
but in some way, you know,
Of course,
like
of course.
it's easier to do that with you, say, than or like to understand like you, like your personality more at this point, obviously, than the first time you came in.
Right. It's kind of like, and I guess it's kind of like a pretentious example, but it's like with Janet Jackson, with Jerry Jam and Terry Lewis when she was making all those records with them. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, when it started at Rhythm Nation, but it's like about time she got to like, you know, the later records. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You know, your controls and all that shit is like they was dialed in like a motherfucker. And they was just cranking shit out.
Yeah.
Even with like Michael Jackson and Quincy, it's like once they dialed in, they had that moment. Timberland and Missy, anyone. So it's just like any sort of artist producer relationship is like once y'all lock in, y'all have a moment if it's meant to be.
Yeah. And it's like also often such like a vulnerable experience creating something together.
Oh yeah.
You know, that you continue to like share those moments and build upon those things. Like when you return to something like that, I think it's usually for a reason, and that like that you feel that chemistry exists and that it's like worth creating with this person.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I enjoy it in certain records. I really enjoy it. I definitely look forward to building more with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I would love to have like a crazy catalog with each person I work with. You know what I mean? I just want to have a verses with myself and just have like 4 different stages, and each stage is like a different label. And somebody spins a fucking wheel, and whatever song it lands on, whatever stage, I just go to that stage and perform it or something. It's like hell yeah, man. It's like I enjoy making music and I enjoy working with people as much as as a hermit I am. Like
Yeah.
like I do genuinely love people, and I love getting different ideas. You know, because I feel like the best music, and probably the music you guys probably enjoy the most from me is probably the most collaborative of efforts, because it was just so much different minds and thoughts that went into it. It just inevitably made for something that stood the test of time.
Yeah.
That much love and intention that went into it.
For sure. Yeah. And I would imagine we're just like getting, as we talked about with different producers, I think like we're definitely going to probably get something different out of you in that collaboration, when maybe it is more of a thing where you're just kind of like showing up with these, like to these tracks, delivering your part, and then just like seeing what happens with them, instead of like being so involved in maybe the process of like records you worked more closely with somebody on, or like worked on by yourself.
Yeah, I really enjoy being able to just track vocals sometimes and just kind of send it off, because you know, I feel like writing and recording is what I love the most. You know, I obviously love performing when that times come, and you know, I like mixing records and mastering too, but my love is just like writing and recording.
Yeah.
And, you know, performing is up there, but in general, yeah, I would love to just be able to just send off, you know what I mean, records. You know what I mean? There's certain, you know, personal projects I want to do myself, but in general, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love someone to do that, but then I can just put more energy into the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Where do you feel like you're at with, before we got on the mics, you were saying that you were spending a lot of time like making beats and stuff though. And that's something that you've talked about maybe over the last couple times that we've jumped on the mics, but like, where do you feel like you're at now with making beats? Like, do you feel like when you have something brewing in your head, you can actually like bring that to the beat now, or is there still some barriers and challenges there?
Ooh, good question. At this point, I feel like I know how to input what I need to get what I need out of the record, or I know where to pull from or where to air quote sample from. You know what I mean? So it's like at this point, I have a routine to get the production I need out of my own inner self. You know what I mean? So I can do it and I enjoy it, and I don't feel like it's the totality of things. It's like, but it is an aspect that I continuously want to hone it and master. And there's certain moments where I feel like I'm called to do that, kind of like with BTA World 64 and certain records, even these EPs I'm gonna put out very soon.
Yeah.
Maybe even next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in those cases, I was like, yeah, I gotta tap in and make some stuff. But there's also some things coming down the line where my job is just to make the dopest song possible. You know what I mean? And then everything else is kind of handled from there. So just depending on what I'm being called upon to deliver. Sometimes I'm calling myself upon to do it, and sometimes it's just like a group or a producer.
Through them levels with the grace of a eating the base for your face. God said, teach the people, so I'm back from the ethers, levitating here to greet you. No special effects, just a lot of practice. BTA deep in the woods, steady hunting, gathering, rolling baseball bat size, split back apart, the elephant master at my craft master craftsman.
You've been in Portland a long time now.
Oh my God! Hey, shout out Portland for real, man. Thanks for everything, man. I don't ever want it to be understated how thankful I am to have been. Like I even bumped the mic. That's how
he's so
thankful I am.
pumped.
Right, off this coffee. But but really thankful that you guys just allowed me to put some roots down and make a name for myself and just give me the opportunity to perform and whatever, you know, all the press and all that. It's like thank you, man. It changed my life, and I wouldn't be here without all of the collective support from, you know what I mean, throughout the years, from everyone that came to shows, all that. Like, thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know what I mean? Like, I'm stoked. Like, I'm cool right now where I'm at. Like we said earlier, I'm comfortable. Like, I'm cool. Like, there's always more to do, but thank you. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to keep growing.
Did you moved here in 2016? Like the year I met you?
Yeah, I moved here June, either 6th or 7th, 2015.
Okay. So you've been here.
And I visited the year before that, from May to August 2014.
So you're coming up on a decade of being here. So what I'm curious is, you come from Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, shout out Toledo.
Man, I went to Toledo, Ohio for the first time last year on tour back in like September.
Hey,
went to Paco's.
Hey. Mm-hmm.
What do you
Downtown?
Yeah, what is your next to that stadium? There's like a minor league baseball stadium.
Mudheads,
right there?
baby.
Yeah. What are you a Paco's fan?
Yeah, I've been there a few times as a kid for sure.
Okay.
You know? I've been there.
I found it to be a little underwhelming, a little I don't know, like the person at the venue, we're like, oh, what should we get for food? And he was like, oh, you definitely got to go check out Paco's. And we're all like, well, that was fine.
Yeah, the bar is different there for sure. Shout out Toledo, shout out Mudheads, man. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, I pray for Toledo, and I pray we continue to evolve, man. But it's a rough road.
I'm curious, like, how do you feel like maybe Toledo, Ohio, or Ohio as a whole maybe still shows itself in your personality or in your music specifically? And like the same for Portland, Oregon, like now that you've been here 10 years.
Nice. You got those good questions.
You know, we're 8 years later. I should have hopefully some better questions for you.
You got me using my whole brain for sure. I appreciate it, man. But I'm here to do it, man. Definitely with Toledo, at least with me, I think maybe it's the work ethic, because we're, you know, just growing up, you know, my dad left in the morning and came home at night, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when I got older, he would drop me off at school and stuff like that. But even with my mom, it's just like I just come from a long line of just workers and teachers and stuff like that, and people that consistently had to do things consistently. You know what I mean? And that was the only way to do it. It was like you had to lock in. So I just applied that to the music. Like I treat the music like that. Like if I want to be good or great at it, or if I want to be prolific, then I just gotta lock in, and that's a lot of getting up early in the morning and just hitting a spliff. You know what I mean? Hitting some stretches and just figuring it out, man. Just really putting the time into it, and loving it is the number one reason why I do it. But number two is because I've set my mind to want to be great at this, and to do that, you gotta lock in. Like I said, as much as I love it, it's still some mornings where I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn, I really wrote this last night. I really got to be here. Here I am in the morning. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you still got to pump yourself up.
Yeah.
And I do my best to do that. But I'm also fortunate to sometimes have people in there with me, like my homie, you know, like Montez or something. You know, you're my brother-in-law. But, you know what I mean? Like certain people that's in there with me who heard it already or like stoked about it. So sometimes I get that nudge from people around me to like do something crazy on the record.
Yeah.
But more times than not, it's like me looking myself in the face and like going for it.
Being your own hype man.
Got to.
So that Midwest blue collar mentality is like something you
Yeah.
haven't shaken, or like feel like it's kind of like in your bones.
Yeah. And then as far as the Portland aspect, it's just more so about maybe having a little bit more of a rock influence, just because I'm around all this rock music.
Yeah.
So that plays a part in just making sure I'm rapping over some guitar loops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like on this new shit. Yeah, I mean, that might come out next week. You know what I mean? So it's like making sure I'm just rapping crazy over just a guitar loop, just to remind people like I'm really here in Portland. And then also just I feel like Portland is constantly like evolving. So just making sure I'm doing that with the music, making sure like I'm evolving, but keeping certain pockets. Like if you look at like Alberta Street, for instance, like that's where I started when I came here.
Yeah.
Like I was on 15th in Alberta, right by the co-op. Like that's where I started when I moved here.
Yeah.
That's where the studio apartment was that I lived in. So that was my reference point for everything. Like if you look at like a video game, I was there, and that was the only part shaded in. But that's all I knew. So because no one before me besides my homie lived there or nothing. So
Yeah.
I figured it out. So I started there. But since then, you know, played pretty much every venue in town and blah blah blah. So it's just figuring it out and evolving with the music, and like I said, seeing different performers, seeing how they do their thing. You know what I mean? Seeing how Aminta, it just jams out on the kalimba, you know what I mean? And just like, all right, you know what I mean? You know, just whatever. Seeing Brown Calculus, you know what I mean? Just going to some abstract stuff and just being like, all right, I know I rap, but let me just paint a whole picture. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I mean that's the beautiful thing I think about being in and around a city that is full of so many artists, is like there's so much to inspire you, especially, you know, in this particular city. Like you could go see kind of like any genre of music that you want to see here for the most part. Like you can go see something that's like really expansive and you know, maybe this like spiritual experience, like a Brown Calculus, you know, and you can have that journey. Or you can go see like a really heavy like punk psych band like the Max, or you can go see some intimate singer songwriter things that like really tap into emotions. Or you can go see something that's just like this dance band or a killer jazz band. Like like it's so exciting, like when you have all of that kind of like at your fingertips. Like you can go see like this stuff happen in a really intimate, like 100-person club, or you can go to an arena show here, you know?
Exactly. And that's, I feel like, played a big part in just my music and my output, is just knowing like some people like this, some people like this, some people like that. And I like all of it for the most part. So I'm just trying to, in a way, provide that. You know, I don't want to ever stretch myself too thin or something, but like I want people who like just like that boom bap stuff, that you got that from me. You like trap music, you got me on that. You like the punk records, I got you on that.
Yeah.
You like the fucking Deltron shit, then you got UAP. You know what I'm saying?
For
so
sure.
It's like, so yeah, it's just about providing that for everyone. Because I listen to all that stuff too. And I also, I want to, you know what I mean, put my submission in, you know what I mean, when it's time to make these lists, you know, when it's time to consider what was impactful and what was, who brought something new to the table. I just want to provide that, you know what I mean? I don't want to waste my time. So I really study and listen to people and go to shows and take advice and take criticism and just try and just make something that's going to stand the test of time. Because, you know what I mean? I want my grandkids to, you know what I mean, not need nothing. You know what I mean? So they can just fucking try and plant more damn trees and not have so much else going on. You can just focus on just fixing this damn planet.
Yeah. Do you feel like the things that you're writing about lyrically at this point are just a lot different than maybe where they were at with Hail Mary? And like, has there been like a pretty significant shift even since becoming a dad? Like, do you feel like you're writing about different things?
Yeah. I would say I know my core values are still the same as far as who I am.
Yeah.
And how I want to present myself into the world and what I'm going for and what I'm not going for. All that's still the same. It's just a matter of continuing on.
Yeah.
And what continuing on comes with, you know what I mean, wins, losses, love, betrayal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sabotage. You know what I mean?
For
like,
sure.
It comes with a lot of war wounds. So it's just a matter of like, from Hail Mary to Kuma, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I've been through a lot since then. So it's just a matter of me checking in with myself.
Yeah.
Since then, you know what I mean? Just like, all right, you still on what you've been on, but look what happened. Look how it's played out, and reflecting on that and being honest, and on both ends, on where I could have been better and where maybe I was too naive or too trusting or not adhering of certain red flags.
Yeah.
And just like putting love over everything and not like wisdom or evidence. Or even, like I said, if some, you know what I mean, at the advice of someone else.
Yeah.
So it's just checking in on myself since then. But it's all the same me. It's all the same thing. It's just like just checking in.
He's still the dude in the Wayne's World hat that he was when he walked into Mountain Air Studios 8 years ago, you know?
I'm not worthy. We're not worthy.
Because you mentioned that's you know, the therapeutic nature of things, of like maybe being, you know, or not even maybe, but like definitely being a contributor to being that engine that kind of like brings you back to creating, because you have been, you know, through so much, or like maybe during different seasons in your life, you're going through heavier times. Do you find that value like increases, that it becomes like more and more important in that sense, that like that the creative outlet is just so important for your mental at this point as well?
Yeah. Part of it is definitely like making sure I make some fire ass records, because it's like, it like in a way validates everything in my mind. It validates my continuance in my existence, because like
Yeah.
I'm still here doing it. So a part of it's that, but then a part of it, just like we touched on earlier, is like it's not just about me no more. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's obviously about my kid. It's obviously about my wife, but it's also about you. It's also about people who've seen me continue on. It's people who've seen me, you know what I mean, make sacrifices and just really figure it out and hone my craft and just get better at all of this and just continuing on. And when things didn't work out or things didn't play out how it was supposed to or how I thought it was going to go, it's like that's all important. It's like a part of me continuing on is because like I love all of y'all and I want y'all to be proud of me. You know what I mean? Like I want y'all to look back on all of this and be like, this dude set his mind to this and he didn't give up.
Yeah.
Despite it all. So that just makes me, just warms my heart and it just validates why I should keep going, because there's people rooting for me. It's people that believe in me.
Yeah.
It's people praying for my success. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I'm rooting for you, dude. I'm proud of the growth and the output and just like, yeah, just it's exciting to
Yeah, I'm trying to
see
overwhelm
your
you.
growth
You know what I
as a
mean?
person, or just like the last couple 2-3 pickathons, even just it's been kind of like it's become this given that I will run into you at you and Jenny at this festival, and like now getting to see you guys out there with Gemma is like it's exciting, man, just to like see the growth of your family.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
And shout out you out there putting in that work. I you know what I mean? You getting your shoes dusty just like I am.
Love dude, pickathon's my favorite.
Yeah, let's just take like 2 seconds to say 2 seconds to say shout out Pickathon.
Yeah.
It's a fun time. I really enjoy it and I appreciate all the progress and innovations that have been made. It hasn't been the easiest thing, but y'all been doing it. So shout out y'all.
Yeah.
It's been fun. It's been a blessing, and I encourage everyone to give it a shot. You know what I mean? Even go camping if you feel like it. And it'd never hurt to put a few more hip hop acts on it. You know what I mean? Bigger names or local, just give it a shot. It'll be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But I really enjoy. I mean, I seen Jizza. You know what I mean? So it's like y'all checking it off. So like you know what I mean? So just, you know what I mean? Couple more rap act to be cool, but I love it. It's super, super tight. And shout out Pickathon. I'm very proud of y'all, man. Just had to say that off rip.
If you, especially if you live in this general area, you should at least go check out Pickathon for one day, if not the whole festival. Like
just try it.
Quite possibly one of the best music festivals in the world is happening right in your backyard, and you don't even know it.
Trust me, we getting our shoes dusty for y'all, so we not just here just like reading off a teleprompter. So like we like yo,
that'd be so good. We're just like reading a teleprompter over there that's just telling us like, and now take 2 minutes to talk about Pickathon.
Listen, I went to 808 with the bowl that I bought with a coin, a wooden coin.
A wooden coin
so
out there at Pickathon. You get wooden
year,
coins, man. And
every year.
It's a beautiful experience.
Yeah,
but
man.
I don't know if I ever rounded out what I was trying to say, but just to like close out, man, like it's going back to being around people that are inspiring and just like the consistency, like to get to catch up with you on the mics, you know, from being one of those first 20 people to do this show. Like I just had Haley Johnson on, who's a great singer-songwriter based out of Portland, and you know, she was like on maybe like the first 50 to 100, and to like catch up with her again on the mics the other day, and to catch up with like yourself and like these other people that were like really at the ground level of me, you know, figuring out what my interview style or conversation style would be. It's just inspiring, man, to like see that you're still making shit, and that the light has not been dimmed, and that you're doing it for some of the same reasons that you were doing it 8 years ago, and you're doing it for some new reasons that maybe you weren't doing it for 8 years ago, you know?
Yeah, man, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing to be here, man. It's a blessing to chat with you, dude. Like, it's tight, man. It's tight, man. We love what we do, so that's a part of it, and a part of it just, you know what I mean? We got people in our corner, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? We the reason why some of the people around us are going and keep going, so it's important to be that.
Yeah. So thank you for continuing to carve out time for me, you know?
Always, man.
You know?
Always, man.
And
It's
just,
nothing.
yeah, and being willing to talk with me, I guess, about, you know, the evolution of things and like
Always.
where you're at with
I know we needed a 5-hour
creative.
episode.
The 5 hour, you know?
No, I don't even know. I couldn't even listen to myself for 5 hours. But
it would be a lot.
yeah, man, hell yeah, it's definitely it's hella music on the way, and just still trying to figure everything out.
Yeah.
But if you're new to me, man, just start from Hail Mary, because that was my first
Yeah,
tape. Just
damn,
start there
there's some great records
and
there.
just go up from there, and it's whatever, man. I love you, Dan. I appreciate you, bro.
I love you too, man.
You know what I
I really appreciate you know, the friendship that has come out of inviting you to do that podcast 8 years ago.
Yeah,
and just
dude.
that you and I like keep up with one another, and yeah, it's a pleasure to be here with you, Bryson.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Sincerely.
I've got a track locked in to play it out with. It's a track off the Norman record.
Ooh.
It's this Montez and Bubby.
All right.
I want to play it out with that one.
Love it.
A lot of times now I will ask somebody at the beginning of the podcast, like what they remember about falling in love with music, or like what their early memories of music was. But thought it would be fun to maybe like ask you that to play the episode out. Like what do you remember about falling in love with music, or early memories
Absolutely.
of music?
Absolutely. And a part of it was kind of touched on, like, if people listen to the Janithia record, on like the first track, it's just like my brother talking to me about him remembering when I was like loving music. And I just remember one of my earliest memories was standing right by the speaker and just like jumping around listening to it. Like my mom would play, you know, Jeanne, Hey Mr. DJ, or like some like Tony, you know what I mean? Let's Get Down or something, or some Dr. Dre or some Escape or SWV or something, and just like me just like right by the speaker, just like bumping so loud you could see like it, like the speaker part coming, you know what I mean, in and out, but just like bumping so hard, and me just like jumping on beat, dancing to the record, mouthing the lyrics. Like that's my earliest memory, just like loving music so much, just putting my face right in that shit and just jumping around. And then like he was saying too, like my mom had these brass blinds, like they were like blinds, but they're like brass, kind of like not like, you know, it's bronze, not metal, but you know, whatever, like that sort of material. And I would jump, and you would hear it like rattle. You know what I mean? Like you would hear the blinds rattle when I like jump on beat and stuff like that. So that's definitely probably my earliest memory. It's just like jumping around to it, and as a kid, you know what I mean? We got so much home videos of me doing that.
You feel like that's that music still does that to you?
Hell yeah. Let me say it louder. Hell yeah, man. I love music, man. We all know the industry. We all know the politics. We all know how it goes, man. It's like the love for it, first and foremost, is what keeps you going, and it's the reason why you do it, and it's why you keep going. It's like because you love it. You really love it. Like I love music. I don't love fame or necessarily quote unquote success. It's like I love the music. That's why I do this. Like I just love expressing myself through it, and I love speaking for my people while doing it. And I love that it'll be here when I'm not here, so to still be here. So it's like I love all those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and at the very least, if you never play one of my records again, it's like maybe you'll be able to remember a few lines or something or whatever. It's like just being in the hearts and minds of the people I love through something I love doing is a beautiful thing, and it's a blessing, and I never take it for granted. You know what I mean?
What does success mean to you now?
Man, you know, at this point, I feel successful in a lot of ways. I feel like the only part is being able to just put everything on auto pay. Honestly, when that time comes where I can just put the car payment, the water bill, the rent, like everything just like on automatic, and then I could just monitor the account or the main account and make sure nothing dips too crazy. Maybe hopefully then I'll feel successful. But besides that, man, I got people that support me. I got people that love me. People stream my music. I put it out. I own, you know what I mean, a fat chunk of it. Like, it's still more to figure out. It's still more to do. But I can see how far I've came, and I can see how many people enjoy my stuff, and I'm good with that. You know what I mean? But I'll be damned if I don't keep striving to hit bigger, bigger goals and bigger milestones. I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep going hard. But I am thankful for what I've been able to do and everyone I've been able to meet and collaborate with. So it's a blessing, and I just pray to keep going.
Hell yeah, bro. Love you, man.
Love you too.
Press start.
A program.
He knows. He doesn't have to be prompted. He knows what's happening here. It's Bryson the Alien. Press start on his whole catalog. You know, he said go back to Hail Mary. Go back to Hail Mary. Hit random. Like, you know, there's just so much to dig into. And like I said, we're gonna play it out with a track off Norman.
He gonna try and bring the mugs back. I know y'all been asking about the mugs.
I gotta get that. Man, the Some Aliens mug broke. Shout out to my friend Ryan who made that
Shout
for
out
me.
Ryan.
I gotta get Adam to press me a couple duplicates so we can get that back in the studio. I'll put all the links for Bryson in the episode notes so you can tap in with him. Episode 418, man, we have continued on the tradition. Maybe the person that has appeared most on this podcast at this point is Bryson the Alien. So setting records out here.
I love y'all, man.
That's the Jelly Jams, and we will catch you on the flip side, Portland, or wherever you are listening from.
Free your heart, free your mind. You can do anything.
Hell yeah, dude. We did it. We did it. Boom.